Today I'm going to be going over everyone's favorite regular show arc, the Mordecai love triangle. Specifically, I'm going to be going over the episode Dumped at the Altar. At this point in the series, I think everyone is pretty sick and tired of this arc, so hopefully this episode will finally be coming to a close. And if you know this episode, then you know it's probably the most insane moment in all of television. The episode starts off with Mordecai and Rigby cracking a couple cold sodas on the roof the morning of Muscle Man's wedding. Yes, Muscle Man and Starla are getting married in this episode. You're in for a wild ride. And can we take a second to realize what an accomplishment this is for Muscle Man? At the beginning of the series, who would have thought that he would get a girl, let alone get married? Rigby asks Mordecai how things are with CJ now that Margaret admitted that she has feelings for him. Mordecai says it's pretty weird and how he hasn't seen her that much since then.
So, how are things with CJ now that Margaret's admitted she has feelings for you?
I don't know. Pretty weird.
I
actually haven't even seen her very much. She's had some friends visiting from out of town, so we haven't really had the chance to talk about stuff. It's awkward.
Might I add, this is very out of character for Rigby. I can't believe this is a real conversation between the two. CJ then calls Mordecai, and Rigby encourages him not to be afraid of his feelings. On the call, it's pretty awkward. The two talk about how they're going to see each other later that night.
Hey.
What's up?
Not much. How are you?
Good. Good.
Do you guys have a lot to do today?
Yeah. Muscle Man's wedding's tonight, so we're gonna be pretty busy. What time are you getting here?
Probably right before the ceremony.
Cool. Well, cool. I guess I'll see you later then.
Definitely.
When I tell you there's nothing more cringe-inducing than watching Mordecai interact with girls after he fumbled, I'm being straight up. It cuts to a regular morning meeting where Benson is checking off everything that needs to be done for Muscle Man's wedding. Then Muscle Man stops him to give a speech on how much they all mean to him for helping them plan the wedding. And he breaks down into tears, Hong Kong food chopping his ice sculpture. Muscle Man is that one guy at a party who has way too much to drink and then goes on a tangent on how you're best friends. Like, no sir, I just met you. Anyways, luckily they have a backup sculpture. This thoughtful act almost makes him break out again, but Benson puts a stop to that quickly. At the venue hall, Mordecai and Rigby are setting up the chairs. Rigby's goofing off and it's getting Mordecai mad. Then Margaret calls Mordecai, saying Starla is becoming a bridezilla, and how she is sorry for what she said to Mordecai and CJ on their double date. Which is when she admitted to having feelings for Mordecai. It then cuts to everyone getting inside for the ceremony, and Mordecai and Rigby are ushers at the door. Margaret walks up to them and Mordecai gives her a pathetic, awkward compliment on her shoes. She then asks him to usher her to her seat, but then he sees CJ coming, so he pushes Margaret along. CJ walks up and they do an awkward hug, and Mordecai ushers her to her seat. CJ was about to apologize on how she's been acting, but Benson calls them in to deal with an emergency. In classic Muscle Man fashion, he's freaking out. The reason being is he doesn't have a letter from Muscle Dad.
There's no way he would have forgotten to leave me a letter for the most important day of my life.
Did you look in your trailer?
Are you kidding me right now, Rigby?
Married and broke won't cover damages, Muscle Man.
Muscle Man should play soccer, because that was actually an impressive ass kick. Mordecai and Rigby then go to Muscle Man's trailer to look for the letter. It's looking bad since the trailer is a biohazard, but they have to keep going anyways. Mordecai gets irritated and Rigby asks if he's doing alright and what he's going to do with CJ. Mordecai gets defensive, saying he's with CJ and is happy, and asks Rigby what he would know about relationships anyway. And then Rigby reveals that him and Eileen are dating.
Eileen and I are dating! For like a couple of months now. We have matching bracelets!
Dude, that's crazy! Why didn't you tell me until now?
This makes Mordecai almost combust. Rigby then tells Mordecai to trust his gut for once. Rigby is nothing like how he usually is in this episode. Where did the Rigby go? Because he never acted like this before and pretty much never acts like this again in the series. High Five Ghost calls Mordecai, telling them to hurry up since Muscle Man is getting married as they speak. Rigby goes into a classic Rigby frenzy and knocks over the pile of garbage and thankfully finds the letter. At the wedding, Pops asks Mordecai if he will marry Starla, but he says no since he needs the letter. Imagine if this happened in real life. I'd be furious. Mordecai and Rigby come busting in with the letter and give it to Muscle Man. But he can't read it since he's so emotional, so he gives it to Mordecai to read. Muscle Dad goes on to say for him to always trust his gut and stick with the woman he chose. Muscle Man is finally ready to get married, but Mordecai does this.
Their feelings, it's just made everyone around me miserable. For the first time, I'm gonna take Rigby's advice. CJ, I need to tell you...
Mordecai, just stop. I already know what you're gonna say, so save it. You don't know who your soulmate is? Here. You didn't even point in my direction.
CJ! Yo, Mordo!
This is quite literally one of the most insane things to ever happen in a regular show. and that's saying a lot. Just for a minute, imagine being in the crowd and seeing some random guy crash your friend's wedding to give a monologue on how he can't find his true love, and to top it off, has a fight with his girlfriend who obviously isn't happy that he pretty much said he doesn't even know if he wants to be with her. I think I would die of cringe. But that's Mordecai for you, the king of simping and cringe. And I think I'm gonna make a series out of cringe Mordecai moments, because Lord knows there's a lot of them. After that fiasco, Muscleman finally gets to say I do, then steps on a glass indicating that this is a Jewish wedding. As a kid, I always thought that he was Hispanic, but his last name's Thornstein, so that does make sense. And the party is started. Honestly, it looks like a really fun wedding. Any wedding I went to was pretty boring. Oh, and Benson's car gets hit with a turducken. Before CJ leaves, Mordecai hugs her as they decided to take a break for a while, meaning they break up. Rigby then ridicules Mordecai for what he did at the altar, but still supporting him, offering him to take him back and get some food. A really good ending for a really good episode. But the writers in this one were on something else. They made Mordecai out to be a whole supervillain, because I don't even think the Joker could do that. Thanks for watching the video, like and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram @FamousPlank, and I'll catch y'all later.